suppose it's really difficult to believe that it's been a month since I sat down here to do the last video diary. And like I mentioned in one of the blogs posts, it's a bit like being pregnant. You see pregnant women everywhere, in Dunnes Stores, in Tesco, on O'Connell Street, and it's like that for me now, because I'm putting so much time into thinking about the whole issue of mortality. I seem to see other people everywhere who are doing the same thing. I put up a little clip on the post of one of my neighbours here whose father passed away recently, and who is doing, I suppose, in a different way exactly what I'm trying to do. He's dealing with the imprint of those who have passed. In his situation, his father, his grandfather, his great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather all worked in the local forge, and I found that a very interesting part of my thought process, just to see somebody on a parallel route, very aware of what's left behind, and very conscious that their lives are imparted to our memories. And here in the studio, I suppose I have been again looking at things that are a huge part of their lives and my memories. I came across these goose wings, and again I felt it merited writing a little post on them, because they conjure up incredible memories for me. I remember clearly my mother killing geese and preparing them for the table, and I tried to write that in my blog, because even the vocabulary that she used is no longer in existence. I mean, the word crop means nothing to somebody of the next generation. Drawing meant drawing blood, but that's again. So I tried to write that down, and I mean, these I think are just, they certainly merit attention, and I did do a little bit of drawing looking at these. They were very, very common, and every house around me would have used these as their feather duster, just literally. There was always one stuck up near the fireplace, and they used to call them quills. Now they're actually wings, but the housewives called them quills, and they were really the original feather dusters. So they provided me with a lot of food for thought, and combining those with crafts, I decided really to divide my time as much as I can in order to not get bogged down. I just felt that I needed this month to think and to form shapes. So I did a lot more of the kind of drawing that I was doing, because I'm enjoying doing it, and it is getting me someplace. So we'll just take a look at those, and I think my plan, I suppose, if there is a plan to this, is in the month of July to start making. I feel now that I have drawn what I need to draw. I have gone down a few paths that were futile. I tried a bit of printing, and I suppose what that did was it made me realise that patience is so important if you're going to make a piece of sculpture, and realising that you're going to try things that are going to go wrong, and from those things you will maybe get something positive. So the drawings I've been doing on the acetate, I've continued to do just because I like the quality of them, and I feel no pressure to produce something slick when I'm scratching into that acetate, as I think I would if I was using pencils. And I just like the quality of them. I like the way I can get even the patterns of the shoes into them, just scraping in. I feel I have something physically there, I suppose a bit more like sculpture than maybe working purely on the surface. But I think I could say tonight that I have gone quite a distance in that, and that I have left some of the sheets open to working into them again as I try to make some pieces. And I have thought a lot about materials, and I've been looking at materials, and I know, I suppose, maybe what I knew in the beginning, that I want to sew. I definitely want to use threads and wools. And as I said, I think to Edel at one point there on Google Plus, I did try a piece, but I'm not going to show it to you because it looked like the worst article from an Irish Country Women's Association meeting possible. But I still, my mother has left, and I should have brought them out to show them, threads that she had taken off of old flower bags, and they're a lovely heavy quality thread, and I want to use those. I want to use some wood, I want to use some stone. I like the brittleness of glass, and I was talking to Lorraine about copper at one stage, and I like the quality of copper. Now I will again, I think, go into the reasons why I like those, but I am drawn to those, and I think they reflect what I'm trying to do. So I think what I'll do now is I'll just show you more of the acetates. They probably won't mean a lot on camera, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm doing, and it might encourage somebody to come and visit me here in the studio. So I have tried to be organised, which I'm not usually. So I have a bundle here that I kind of showed you the last time. It's just a large religious image, and I think I might try stitching into that. It's very hard to show this acetate on camera. So I think that would work, just even running it through a sewing machine. And I tried a few little pieces now, they didn't come out great, they kind of tore the acetate, so I need to just work out a technique a little bit better with that. But that's just the image that I had sort of shown you already, but I think I like it actually, and I think I want to work into it. I don't want to just abandon that now. I want to, just for myself, I want to stitch into it maybe, or maybe scrape into it some more, I don't know, but it's something that I want to go back to and work on. This pile here is shoes, feathers and religious images. They're coming together, and they need to be reworked. So there's a whole pile of those there that I showed you some of them the last time. But again, it really would just bore anybody to go through them now, because they're really not finished pieces. But this is a pile here that that is, you know, that I think I have got someplace with. So the forms that to translate into 3D sculpture, and I have just kind of again said they're stone, wood, sewing, glass, copper, and definitely some kind of stitching. So I might try and show you those here with a black behind them. Well, yeah, and this first one here, I was just working with the quills and the feathers, and I realised in this month the vocabulary that that my mother and father used was a huge part of who they were, I suppose, and it's vocabulary that you just don't hear anymore. And I know I recommended a book to Lorraine that I haven't actually read myself. I just saw it on a blog somewhere, and it was words that aren't in common use anymore, but I would love to get it myself actually. So there, I think I will use some text in whatever it is I make. Again, the picture here, you can hardly see it, but it's just the feathers, and I'll just go through these quickly so that you get an idea. Again, that's just more of the feathers, not so hard to see. Now I come to one that's the again, the wings, the feathers. Now this one is a little bit closer to what I think. No, it's very, I can't, it's very frustrating now. Actually, maybe if I turn off the light overhead, there won't be such a shine on them. No, that's no better. We just have to go with this. But I have on that one a form, excuse me, a shape that I think I can work with, that I would like to make maybe in wood or something like that. Based on the, and there again, I think I just go through these. I just like this. This is a form that's kind of beginning to have a bit of meaning for me. Maybe a bit of an angle. This I think is closest to where I'm going. I think I would love to do something that has this goose's wing type of thing that draws me back and captures so much of people who have gone, and the strong firm wheels. So that's oh yeah, I think I kind of took those smaller ones in. Then I have a whole lot of, as it says there, sample pieces that just don't work. They didn't go anywhere. But actually those pieces are what led me to some more of the really big pieces. And I know this is much like what I was saying last month, but I just did a lot more of them and felt I was getting places with them, and I think I think what I'll have to do with these is photograph them and put them up, because this is just monotonous video and you can't really see what I'm trying to do here at all. There are 7 or 8 of those, and again that one you can see that a little bit clearer because I ran that through a printer. And yeah, I'm going to photograph them and put them up because that's really pretty boring. So just put this back down again. So I think that's it really. I photographed those, I put them up, and you might see a little bit clearer what I intend. I intend to start 3D work now at this point, because I feel I have come to an end with that really. There are forms in my head, there are ideas I want to try. As I say, I did try a little bit of sewing, but it just didn't work. But I am going to persevere with that because something in me wants me to use the materials that my mother used, and I want to go through the process that she went through. I want to meticulously sew, even if it's only something very, very tiny as part of something big. I want to just meticulously go through that process. So maybe we're at the 22nd of June now, so maybe the next week I will have another little clip to add to this video diary, because I do intend to start immediately now on something 3D. Okay.